Since probably about 2008, when BioWare was acquired by EA, I've been feeling like there's this fault line in AAA. But this year, it feels like that fault line is actually opening up, and entire studios are falling into the resulting hole. So what's this fault line? This fault line is the place between the top of AAA and the bottom of AAA, between the highest budget, highest selling games, and another category of games that have lower budgets, but also have lower sales expectations. And what I've seen is entire studios whose entire existence seems to exist right between these two things. On the one side, you have games like GTA or Cyberpunk or Skyrim, who sell well enough that effectively their budget doesn't really matter. Typically, over the lifespan of a game, you can probably expect the average amount of money that you're bringing into a studio, at least a studio that controls its own publishing, to be somewhere between $30 and $35 per copy sold. Even if you push that number down to $20, which is very low, a game like GTA is selling so many copies that it can spend any amount of money in its development. Even games like The Witcher and Cyberpunk, which are selling more than 30 million copies. Again, if they're bringing in $20 a copy, that's still $600 million, which is way more than they spent on all of their development, all of their marketing, everything they did in the making of that game. On the other side of the fault line, you have games that are spending significantly less. They might be made for 1,000 or 2,000 staff months. If you assume even a very high cost per staff month, a 2,000 staff month project is only costing about $40 million of development. And when you layer on top, say, $20 million of marketing, that means that if you're making $30 a copy, by the time you've sold 2 million copies, you've probably broken even. 2 million copies remains a relatively reasonable expectation for most games that can call themselves AAA. Even games that ultimately don't do very well usually sell more than 2 million copies. So you can see the two sides of this chasm. On one side, you have my budget doesn't matter because I make all the money, and on the other side is my sales don't matter because my budget is quite modest. And between those is a place where you have to care about both things. There's quite a bit of space between I'm made for 2,000 staff months and I start to break even around 2 or 3 million units sold, and I sell 30, 40, 50 million copies, my budget doesn't matter. A lot of entire studios live between those two places. BioWare, Horizon, these are studios whose current existence lives around making games that cost significantly more than 2,000 staff months to make, but don't sell 20 million copies. So they are existing in the tension between those two worlds. They aren't so cheap that their sales don't matter very much, and they're not so successful that they can spend whatever they want. They fall in this balancing point where they need to sell 7, 8, 9, 10 million copies in order to be profitable because they're costing thousands and thousands of staff months to make. Sales have gone up throughout my career. A game that sold 1 million copies was a massive success back in the late 90s. Now, that would be considered a catastrophic failure for most AAA titles. And game prices have gone up as well. So the amount of money that a modestly successful AAA game it can expect to bring in has risen throughout my career. But costs have gone up way more. Salaries have risen. Salaries have risen quite dramatically in some cases. But more dramatically, the number of staff months it takes to make a game has gone up. This is because of dramatic increases in fidelity. This is because games have gotten, on average, longer. This is because higher fidelity has meant more specializations, which has led to more people being required, which has led to more complicated reporting structures, which has resulted in the size of a team resulting in a larger team simply to control and manage that size. So the two curves have both been rising, but one has been rising significantly faster. So is this a new thing? Is this fault line a new thing? I would say no, because I've seen studios fall victim to this in the past. Arguably, this is what happened to Dead Space when Dead Space tried to pivot to being a multiplayer game. Historically, Dead Space games have sold pretty well, but not well enough to be in that upper camp. They sell millions of copies, but certainly far away from 10 million copies. If you are making a game that can only comfortably expect to sell 3 million copies, then you need to budget accordingly. But if you don't feel like you can, because the expectations of fidelity are too high, or the game is too big, or even that you exist within an organization that wants all titles to be 10 million sellers, then you are trying to push yourself to the other side of that fault line. Dead Space could have continued to exist as a single player franchise if it had been able to scope itself to the sales expectations that were realistic for a horror franchise, which are typically 2, 3, 4 million copies. But instead, it tried to leap that chasm and make a title that could sell 10 million copies, and it ultimately failed to do so. Definitely, BioWare has sat right at the edge of this chasm for a long time, making games that are pretty expensive to make, but whose sales expectations historically have not been as high as other players within the RPG space. This is one of the reasons why BioWare has been so susceptible to the influences of EA. While it's been profitable, it's been always staring into the abyss. And as costs have continued to rise, it has slid closer and closer to the edge of an abyss. What I mean when I say that I feel like this fault line is actually breaking open is in the past, it seemed like this fissure existed at the bottom end of AAA, mostly for titles or genres that had lower sales expectations. And so as a result, it was a little bit easier for studios to tailor themselves to those sales expectations. Because if this fault line is sitting directly under horror games, then horror games as an entire genre can adjust their budgets to fit those sales expectations. But as costs have gone up and that line has moved up along with it, now we have this fissure happening where there are bigger studios that are used to making bigger games. Now, you could argue that given my history, I'm simply just hypersensitive to where this breakpoint currently sits. And I think that is a fair statement. So what happens now? What we've seen in the past, where we've seen these breakpoints, is often the players that sit right on that fault line often fall into the chasm and they go away because they can't figure out how to move to either side of the chasm. Some studios push their way into success and they figure out how to break through. And if they need to sell 15 million copies, they figure out how to reliably make games that can sell 15 million copies. Others push the other way and they make smaller, lower budget games that are more tailored to the sales expectations that they can garner. But a lot of studios simply never quite figure it out and they overspend for what their games end up spending and eventually they cease to exist. And then you end up essentially with a hole. And then what happens is, because business basically wants to fill the hole, is that AA indie games will start to bubble up and edge into that space that has been vacated. What you'll see if you lose all of the games of a certain type because they fell into this chasm is you'll see AA and indie games sell a little bit better because they don't have more expensive competition. And then those studios are able to spend a little bit more and sell a little bit better and often fairly quickly rise into that space, but typically at a lower budget than was being spent by the players that were there before. This time, this breaking seems to be happening quite high up in the industry, in the 7, 8, 9, 10 million unit range, which is pretty high. So in the past, what we've seen is sort of a falling away of the bottom of AAA. Here, it feels like the separation is more obvious. And I'm reluctant to use this term, but what we're kind of seeing is the codification of quadruple A games, games that can spend any number they want because they're going to sell so well. Games like GTA, games like Cyberpunk, games like Football Club, games like Call of Duty. And then a space on the other side, we'll call them AAA games, which are games that should expect to sell 3 to 9 million units and need to budget accordingly. A special thanks to my members. They provide the resources that this channel needs to keep running. If you're interested in becoming a member, there's a link to that down in the description. We also have a Patreon if you are more comfortable supporting the channel that way. Both patrons and channel members get access to our Discord, which is a great way to interact with this community to a deeper level. You also, at the higher levels, get early access to videos, so you would have seen this video a while ago if you are a supporter at that tier. We also have merch, not selling super well for the last year or so. This is the Triage Games shirt. There will be a link to that in the description as well. What do you think? Is this real? Is this just always been the case and it's simply hitting studios higher up the food chain? Or is nothing new? Is this the same as it's always been? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I will see you again soon. Thank you.